Welcome to the APLCrafts Podcast. My name is Alicia, and this is a primarily knitting podcast with a tiny bit of crochet. So today is March 31st, but this is probably coming out a few days later, only because I'm supposed to be going hiking on Sunday and I want to throw some footage at the end. So hopefully there's some footage there at the end. So today is starting to rain. It was nice all week, and now it's raining. And I'm noticing a trend that almost every single time I podcast, it's raining outside. So I don't know, maybe I should call it the Rainy Day APLCrafts Podcast. I don't know. Anyway, I got my coffee in one of my favorite mugs. I don't know who the potter is. I got it in Metropolis, Illinois, home of Superman, for like $1 in a thrift shop. Can't go wrong. It's beautiful. So I got some coffee in here. Hopefully you have something too. So today's episode will have finishes, in case you didn't notice. I'm going to go over some stuff that I've already done in the middle of the month. So it kind of repeats. Oh, and I forgot to bring, I'll get that later. I've got a new cast on, and I'm almost done with my What Tomorrow Brings shawl. So we shall address the ripple camisole first. So if you've knit this before, then you notice that it looks a little bit different. So basically what I did last time you saw it was I was here. Yeah, don't pay attention to that. So I was here at the part where you start splitting for the armholes. And so basically what I did was I just took some liberties and made it, or you can tie it up here. Because I don't know about your body, but my body, my left shoulder slopes more than my right, and so I tend to have this going on all the time where everything just wants to fall off. So I actually find that it's easier sometimes with tank tops to just have this. And actually there was a tank top that I made a couple months ago from, oh, I can't remember her name now. I'll put it down below. Where basically it was the same thing, but that was the design where, you know, you make it where you can tie it, and I really like that. And it's not hard to do. All this is I-cord. So, and it looks a little wonky because of the type of yarn that it is. So it's all thick and thin and kind of slubby a little bit. And I wouldn't style it under this tank top, but I'm just putting this on for the podcast. If I were to actually style it, I wouldn't have this tank top on. I would probably just have my bra on. But yeah, anyway, so it's I-cord, so you can adjust it any way you want. I'll show you the back. So yeah, as 3x3 rib, I knit it on a US 3, and I actually just found the tag. Where'd I put it? I just found it on the floor yesterday. So the yarn is Conserving Threads. It is a hand spun cotton, and this particular color, I don't know if it's on here. Nope, it's just purple. So yeah, this is my third Jessie May pattern, but this is my first ripple cardigan, and I've made 2 secret summer tops, if that's what this is called. I don't know about this one. Maybe it's because I took liberties on the top, and that's why I'm not completely thrilled with the way it came out. It's still wearable, and in Tennessee summers it's light and it's airy, and it'll work just fine. But I think as far as how I like it on my body, I think I like the secret summer top better than the ripple cardigan. But I might make this again because it's really good. Even though I don't like ribbing, it's one of those things where if I need something mindless and I don't need it right away, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, you know, I'll just work on it whenever, which is basically what this was like. I started this in January, so it took me 3 months to do a tank top. So yeah, that's done. I'm gonna go quick and dirty on the squares. I did not make any new squares this month. I needed a break. So I'm just gonna go over really fast what I've done beginning of the month. so that I could put these away. So here's one square. And all this is just scrap farm yarn. So like it's worsted weight, merinos, alpacas, Shetland blends, stuff like that. Just scraps that I don't have enough to do anything else with. So that's the first one. This one I know is alpaca and swarple. So I think the orange and the gray is alpaca. I think this brown stripe in the middle might be an alpaca Shetland blend, maybe. And then I know that this dark brown is swarples. So that's that one. And it has, yeah. Last time I didn't have it in the right direction. This one has bobbles in it. That one came out a little flat. So you can see sort of bobbles in there. This one there, one there, one there. And they're all roughly 14 by 14. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of finagling when I start sewing these together, which that will be all kinds of fun. Because not all of the yarn weights are exactly the same, so I have to fudge the pattern a little bit and take out, not repeats, but like the spaces that are in between the repeats for the cables. I usually have to fudge those numbers to get it to work. So sometimes I have to do things like 2 or 3 times in order to get it right. Not the whole entire piece, like usually like around here I'll know if it's too long or not on my cable needle, and then I'll have to rip back and then figure out the numbers from there. There's another one. This one is all swarples, dark brown, and then I think the rest are Shetland alpaca mixes. Okay, now I can put that away. I'll probably have more squares going on next month. I'm at the point now where I don't have a whole lot of scrap anymore. I just have whole skeins, but they're not enough skeins for me to do anything with. So instead of buying a whole bunch of yarn to make a garment or whatever, because I have enough garments, honestly, at this point, I'm just going to use those skeins up soon. I have my, I think I talked about it last month. If it's not last month, then it was the last episode. I had a bunch of these squares. I don't want to mess up my order, but I had a bunch of these pink squares. Yeah, I think it might have been last month I was talking about these. Anyway, I'm finally doing something with them. So I made a short right before this episode of me mattress stitching the squares together. So I'm going to make a wrap. So this is just another one. I'm not going to pull them all up because I have them all laid out the way I want. But it's just basically pinks and purples and maroons. And half of this is MCN, merino cashmere nylon. Some of it I think is merino Cordale. Like this dark purple I know is merino Cordale. No, Polworth Cordale. So yeah, so you can go see that. I'll put a little iCard up here so you can see that video if you would like, or you can just, when you're done watching this, you can go look at it. It's like not even a minute long. I'm dragging y'all. This weather, that's another thing I've noticed, is that rainy weather just makes me drag, and then I need like extra caffeine. So, and I really shouldn't be podcasting right now with 3 sips of coffee, but here we are. Yep. Alright. New cast on. I'm going to put a picture up here, Streamline tank. So, I have started that. I've been wanting to work on that tank top for a long time. I just never had the yarn for it, or I was too busy making sweaters, and I have plenty of sweaters now. So I'm working on my spring and summer outfits, and trying to use up my stash. So I have a whole bunch of new yarn, but I don't want to dye it up and do all that stuff when I could be working on this right now, so it's not sitting here for so long. So I have these wool-like, loops and threads wool-like, that's been sitting around. I gave some of it away, but I still have some colors that I wanted. So I have 2 balls of this. This is not going to make the whole thing, but I'm going to blend it into a lighter purple, which I will show in a second because I didn't bring that over either. But so it's just the first few inches, and it's got a high-low hem. Let's see if I can show this. Yeah. So that's the back, this is the front. And I pretty much just started connecting this. So I got like, I don't know, a little over an inch so far on the body, like fully in the round. This is actually a pattern that's knit in pieces and then sewn together, and I ain't about that life. I'm just being honest. I did it once just because I wanted the experience, and that was the Essence of Autumn. No, I think that's the name of her brand. Anyway, she had a cable, worsted cable sweater, and that was pieced together. And I did that once. It was nice for the experience. So that's something like if I can modify it, knit it in around. Basically, I'm going to knit it in around. So I'll be right back with several things that I forgot to bring over. I'll see you in a second. So my idea, because I know I'm not going to have enough yarn to do the body on this, I think I've got enough yarn here. This is kind of a lace weight. It is a lace weight, so I'm holding it double. To make a DK. Fingering DK? I guess it's more of a heavy fingering. Anyway, I'm going to fade it into this color. So that's going to be the tank top. I think that'll work. Hopefully. We'll see. I know I have plenty of yarn because I've got 2 balls of that. And that's like, each ball is, I think it's 600 and something yards. Where are you? It's 3.5 ounces, 620 meters, 678 yards. Held double. So, and it's a tank top. So I figure it'll probably start fading maybe here, which actually is a good transition, because if I'm going to have any kind of transition on my body, I'd rather it be here and not down here or up here. So I will always have something that's going right here. And then I've got 2 more balls of the light and then 2 used balls. So I have plenty of yarn for that. I probably will have some left over because it's a tank top. I can't imagine it would be more than, if I was actually using fingering weight, 900 yards at the most, maybe 1,000. That's kind of going a little high for me, I think. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. And that's my mindless knitting since this is done. And the last thing that I'm working on, of course I'm in the middle of a row. Of course. Is what tomorrow brings. And I've got, oh boy, this is upside down, I think. Yeah, alright, so, ooh, that's pretty. I haven't opened this up yet since I started working on it. Okay, so, last time you saw it, it was here, this whole middle section, and then I started working on this part here. I started making it more shawl-like, and now I'm at the end. So, it starts here, and then you start fading into these colors to here. Okay. Yeah, this is fun. Alright. And now we're working on this part here. So I think I've got, this is backwards. So I think I've got 2 more sections of this part. 2 more sections of this part, and then I'm done. So, yeah. This is really pretty. Ooh, I'm glad I chose this. I'm gonna rock this out. Oh yeah, I love it. Okay, so the colors are, this is a black overdyed with lilac, Palworth fingering. This is mine. It's just something I played around with. It's not anything I ever had in my shop. This is Sabiduria Malabrigo sock. Anniversario Malabrigo sock. This is pink tourmaline on Palworth fingering. That's in my shop. back to Anniversario, Sabiduria, and the black. And then we're going into more black, pink tourmaline, and then we enter this blue, which is Wales Road, back to Anniversario, black, pink tourmaline, and then this part you got the black, Sabiduria, Wales Road, and currently I'm on Sabiduria. And then I think the next color is going back to Wales Road, and then it's going to finish off with the black. And I made a schematic that I've shown a couple times. I'll put it up here of how I wanted the shawl to look, and I think it came out pretty good. I'm really liking this. This is a beautiful shawl. And what I like about this too is that you can really stop it anytime you want. So like last time when I showed it here, if you wanted a small scarf or something, you could stop here. If you wanted to keep going and make it a little bit bigger, you could stop at any of these rows. And then you've got the rest of it. So that's very smart. Very smart design. I like that. So it's basically 3 shawls in one. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, since it's the end of the month, I'll go over my patterns. So at the beginning of the year, I was talking about how I want to lower my number of paid patterns, because for me it was getting a little overwhelming. I think I started off at 44, 41, something like that. And while I'm not completely focusing on paid patterns, they are taking priority. So if I have the yarn for it, then I'm going to try to knock those out. So this was on there, so that brought it down to 35. And then when the shawl is done, it'll bring it down to 34. So technically for the month, I'm down to 35, but I'll be starting April with 34. So not too bad. I'm getting that number down. And I wanted to start talking about podcasts that I'm watching, because I've seen other people do that, and I kind of like that idea. So I purposely like to find podcasts that are really small, probably because I'm really small. So I'm always searching for like people who have like 500 subscribers or less. That being said, one of the podcasts that I'm mentioning today, she has 1.35 thousand. But she's been around for 6 years, 7 years, something like that. So, and I'm currently binge watching. So when I find a podcast that I like, I start all the way from the beginning, and then I just binge watch until I get current. Do I have a life? No, you can tell that, right? Right? Yeah. So I have that one, and then there's another one that I'm going to mention. They're at 500 now, but when I started watching them, I was number 46. So the first one I'm going to mention, the one that was 1.35, it's handmade by Lorelei, and she goes by, her name is Lorelei Urdo, and she's a jewelry designer, but she does a lot of knitting, and she does some sewing, and she's in upstate New York. So I wanted to bring her to your attention because I think she's pretty cool. And then the second one that I was just talking about that's got the 500 subscribers now is A Knit Sheep. They are out of Jersey. They used to have a yarn shop, and then they downsized, and then I think they're just online now. So the podcast is two sisters, and sometimes the mom is in there too. And it's a good balance of knit and crochet. So if you enjoy watching anything about crochet or knitting, then that's your jam, because they do a lot of that. And what I also like about both podcasts is that for the most part, they don't knit anything that's like super trending right now. You know, like they do their own thing. So, you know, you might see it like a Stephen West here or there or something like that. But for the most part, it's a lot of new to me type stuff. It might be new to you too, because it's not super trending, which I enjoy, because I know I naturally, for the most part, gravitate toward patterns that for some reason just don't get very popular. Even by like popular designers, there's like patterns that I naturally gravitate toward that for some reason or another just people aren't knitting, which is why I made my patterns under 50 Projects on Ravelry series, and you can find that. It's in a playlist. If I can do 2 iCards, I'll put that up here too. But yeah, so those are my podcasts that I'm shouting out this week. And I think that's it. So all the links to everything I talked about is going to be down below in the description bar. I'm not entirely sure how to do that on a phone because mostly everything that I do is on the computer. So yeah, sorry. Hopefully you're watching this and know how to do that. Maybe one day I'll try to look for how to do that, and then I'll mention it in a video or something. Oh, I do not have acquisitions, but since April is coming up, I do have my April colorway that is going to be on sale for the whole month. It's marked down, and I brought it. So April's birthstone is diamond, and this is a merino nylon stellina, and I don't know if yeah, there you go. You'll be able to see the stellina. So it looks like it's undyed, but it's really not. I'll put the picture up here. And so basically what I'm doing is every month I have a yarn that I have dyed as close as I can get it to the birthstone color. So because technically diamond isn't gray, but it's going to photograph like it's got some gray, there's really subtle gray color throughout the skein, and I don't know if there's any gray spots. I don't think it'll pick up on a camera. Maybe like right here. So it's like really subtle gray that's in there. And this is actually a somewhat popular colorway. I've sold out of this once already, so you might want to get your hands on it since it's going to be on sale, because it'll probably sell out again. Or it might not. I don't know. And it also comes with, let me get those because I would like to show them off because I think they're pretty awesome. I'll be right back. Okay, so you get the choice for $5 more when you get a skein of April to do. Oops. You could choose between a hand-carved Progress Keeper of Aries and Taurus, and they are one of a kind. So to show you, like, oh my gosh, and then I dropped it. Oh boy. Okay, you see how there's just like slight differences, just a little bit of shape difference, a little bit of carving difference. These are all handmade on a higuera. It's a type of cord that's found in Puerto Rico. So a friend of mine made these, and I think I've got one more Aries. So you don't get to pick which one you want as far as like, you know, which style, but you can pick which month you want. And then so what I did was I paired the zodiac sign to the month. But if you ever want any other month, just message me and I'll be happy to adjust the numbers. I have no problem with that. If you ever want to see any of his other stuff, he's got a whole lot of, his name is Joel Cruz. He's out of Connecticut. And if you ever want to see any of his other stuff, he's got a lot of things that he's hand carved out of higuera. That's his card. And that's his Instagram and Facebook. And he's pretty active on both, so if you ever want to check his stuff out. And I think that's all I have for today. So, thank you for stopping by. Thank you to my new subscriber. I see you. And I guess I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Maybe I'll throw another throwback out there. You guys seem to like the last one. I don't know what it'll be this time, so we'll see. It'll be a surprise. All right, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.